Hello everybody and welcome as we catalog the passage of time because yes, a year has passed since we have done this and we do it every year. One, because it's easy content.
Yes.
And two, I love seeing how our opinions may or may not change because there is slight fluctuations. And also whenever there's a new cycle, I want to see if any of the new investigators make it. And a new investigator made it on each of our lists this year, which is super sick. So, Bryn, why don't you start us off with the old classic as your number 5 is...
It's Zoe Samaras. She's just kind of good. Yeah. Like, you get a 6 signature asset.
Yeah.
You get a weakness that doesn't do anything. Just like, oh no, I have to kill a guy? If only I'd brought tools to do that. Like a knife. Which she's holding in the artwork.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know. I don't play her too much anymore, but she was like the first character out of the mythos that I was like, oh yeah, this is the one I want to play.
Yeah.
Every time that it showed up, because in Arkham 2nd, I'd say stop me if you've heard this before, but if you've watched any of the previous videos, you have heard this before. She's got an ability called Killer Instinct that lets you ignore resistance and treat it as though it just wasn't there. And immunity is resistance instead, which is very important in that game because a lot of the ancient ones are hard because they're like, yeah, you can't actually hurt this with physical weapons, and you're playing Zoe and you're just like, well, I brought a lot of them.
Yeah.
If I stab him really hard.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't trivialize some ancient ones, but there are definitely some of them where it's kind of like, well, this is why you're supposed to be hard, but I'm just going to kill you with a sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you should play Zoe again. Just play a janky underworld support deck.
Guardian decks
It's gonna take forever for me to be able to just play a deck that has cards that I want to play in it, and not cards that like I have to play.
Why are you looking at me?
Because that's just how that's how this channel works.
Do you have some? We haven't done.
We're doing one right now where we're playing cards that are whatever we want, which means that like I'm at least two campaigns out on getting to do that again.
Yeah. I mean, we have been thinking about doing revisiting monocolors, but I imagine you're probably going to just be like, hey, I'm Carson. Just before anyone else tries. I never dibs an investigator, but this time I'm dibsing Carson.
Press the button.
Yeah.
It's too late. I've snap picked. What are our bands?
Yeah.
Kind of team are we trying to build?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's got to be one that works with this guy now.
The worst.
I've actually been like, the problem is I go to bed at like 9 o'clock like a grandpa.
Yeah.
But I want to play League of Legends. I've been itching for it. So I might have to like, stay up later than my normal bedtime to like play, because I don't know, I've just been itching it. I've been feeling it. I'm just like, I want to play League of Legends, and I know I would never play it by myself because I get bored too easily. I'm like,
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Okay, let's go to my number 5,
It's a strange impulse, but
yeah. Well, it seems so fun to play games.
it's not.
It's not. At this point now, you're stuck in it. You're just playing it because you have to.
Somebody who's played like 5,000 games, like it's not.
Yeah, you just you show up and you get home and you're like, what am I gonna do? Not mainline a MOBA?
Yeah.
Show up, you're just gonna come home and be angry for 2 hours.
Yeah,
this is how it's gonna be.
All right. My number 5 is Vincent Lee.
Oh, Bonesaw Man.
The doctor. Everyone's was like, he's just gonna be Carolyn, but different for damage, and he is.
That's good.
And
like
it's good, but he also like is the gameplay loop that Vincent provides is so much more engaging than Carolyn's.
Okay.
Like, I think Carolyn's is probably just default, like, money is always good, right?
Yeah.
But, like, there's something that's more rewarding about healing someone, and then also, like, here's an unexpected courage you can use on a test coming up. Make sure you use it right away, because I'm planning on doing it immediately.
I intend for you to take damage in the near future.
Yeah.
I am going to do damage to you.
And then there's also, like, the fun of trying to get your own every turn, like trying to get like a heal on you every turn.
Yeah.
I do agree that the thing that kind of makes him a bit sticky is his weakness. You know, a signature weakness is a little bit like awkward. I wish it could be healed as if it was an investigator at your location, because I think that would just like...
Yeah, I think that was a bit of an oversight on their part.
because I think it would just like open up the character a lot more. But the skill slinging style that he provides to just like the value of healing damage and then like getting the skills to play with as a reward. And then, like, him and Jessica Hyde and Bonesaw is probably the most powerful you ever feel, while also feeling like you're playing completely fair. Because it's just like, I'm just getting +2 to my attacks, you know?
It's just +2.
Yeah.
I have 3. It's not even unfair.
Yeah. Like, and I also like his stat line, because, like, it's a fun stat line to fight with, because you, like, have to work a bit harder, but you never... It's like, he has the 5 built in because you get your...
So you're telling me that this guy's stat line is fun to fight with, but Skids...
Yes.
Who's definitely not going to be in this video, is not.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah.
They got the same thing.
Yeah, but Skids has, you can pay 2 to get an action, and this guy is, you can just heal and get +2. So it's like he has 5.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Poor Skids. I was thinking, is Skids going to be on my bottom 5 again this year? Probably. But I think he's also better than I give him credit for.
I don't think he'll be in mine. I don't actively dislike him.
Yeah.
I do.
He's bad, but I don't actively dislike him.
All right, Travis, what's your number 5?
It's also Vincent Lee, the Doctor.
Wow.
Yeah, he's Carolyn, but different, and I like Carolyn. She's not on the list this year. Vincent took her spot because he's shiny and new.
Yeah.
Well, he's got a saw. It's easy for him to take things.
Yeah, it was actually a friend that saw me if I didn't put him on the list. So. No, he's like he's got a lot of neat. The deck building's really fun, just like for Carolyn. He's got a nice generic ability, and I've if you watched the Dream Years playthrough I played him, I did express my frustrations with his personal weakness, which is not necessary. It would be nice if you could heal as though it were an investigator location, but at the same time, like they could also fix it by just like putting more cards that could heal allies.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you want his weakness to behave similarly to foolishness?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Does foolishness count?
Yeah, foolishness like can be healed as though we're an
Foolishness is like
investigator,
a
I think,
weakness.
because you can. Yeah, it is like a weakness because it means you got to play to fight the black wind in your deck.
Yeah.
But like you can definitely just dump whiskey on him and have him be like, yeah, I'm good.
I'm not feeling so good. Drink the whiskey.
I guess I don't own her. Thought I did.
You don't own. You definitely own Booker.
There he is. Foolishness. Enters a 3 horror. I sealed this for on Carolyn Fern. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That would be nice.
Even if it wasn't an investigator location,
Yeah.
like heal as if it was on Vincent Lee would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like one thing. I do sort of dislike that his combat builds are a little bit. You feel like you're playing it wrong if you're not playing just guide.
Yeah.
And like also practice makes perfect and practice makes perfect. Yeah.
I can agree that. Like, I think Vincent Lee's, if he has the longevity to provide exciting builds that aren't just like, here's Jessica, you have to play Jessica.
Yeah, I do like
you
that
know?
he has enough book to like make use out of some of the yellow combat spells and stuff like that. Like I've got a plan, occult invocation, if that's what you want to do. Other things, I do also I dislike the rules around his deck building and how Fantasy Flight just like makes shit up. Hate that, but. Bonesaw's fun to play
Yeah,
with.
but that's like also unrelated.
Yeah, it is also unrelated, but it's got to be in every video.
Yeah, but for people who don't know what Travis is talking about, there was a ruling that bonded cards count as text on the actual version of the card. So Vincent Lee can take Hollowed Mirror 3.
No, you can't.
I wouldn't mind that so much if it was like that when they came out, but
It
it feels weird to change like 3 or 4 years.
It's one of those
into
things that, like, if for example, like the next box comes out and it's bonded cards and it has that change printed, I'd understand. But right now we're kind of just like, that's a weird thing to just have happen.
No, there's
you know?
there's definitely stuff that they come out and they're like, this is the way the game works now, and I'm like, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna do? Send the Arkham police after me? They don't exist. They've
Yeah.
been defunded.
Yeah.
We know that.
I also despise the book that came out in Scarlet Keys, the 5-cost one, where they say in the FAQ, I'm pretty sure,
Yeah.
it's like, this doesn't heal damage, and they're like, oh, he can play it.
Yeah. That's
Why?
a bit strange.
Yeah,
that's a bit strange. No, I agree.
No, I think that one is like clearly a templating oversight.
Yeah.
Like, obviously he's intended to be able to play it, but like it doesn't actually do that.
Yeah,
It
If it was
modifies the
ambiguous
effect.
and they said like this this counts as healing, I'd be like, okay, but the fact that like I don't remember where they put it, but like it said they had something that said like this doesn't actually do the healing.
Yeah.
It just adds onto the card that does the heal.
Yeah, like if it were like when you do, you may spend 1/2 heal.
Yeah.
Then like that would,
Easy.
It's like functionally not quite identical, but very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
it's one of those things
would be allowed clearly.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that like when you're designing the game, it just makes sense because it's in your brain that it works.
Yeah.
And then there's not the person who like you see in like Magic or like bigger card games that's like, hey, this actually doesn't work. We got to change the template.
They clearly haven't got a Mark 10.
Yeah.
No.
It's not.
But no, like as much as I do complain about putting Prax Makes Perfect in my Vincent deck, it's like, I put Prax Makes Perfect in, but then go through a bind, you pull out your Vicious Blows and your Stang Blows, and you're like,
You're like, what am I gonna do? Not play with these?
Yeah. What am I gonna do? Not blow dudes?
yeah.
Practice my blowing dudes? What am I not gonna do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great investigator. All right.
Yeah, it's time for a new take on that deck. Vincent Lee.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Bryn. What is your number 4?
Oh, I think we got Rita.
Yeah. Wow. She's right there.
What? How could that happen? Yeah, like I mean, I'm playing her in our current run, which may or may not be current depending on when this video comes out. Time is strange in YouTube. It doesn't. It's non-linear.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is she bad? Absolutely. Like there is no piece of this card or the things she gets to play with that make up for the fact that hoods just show up and they're like, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
And you're like, yes, sir. You do that.
Chainsaw them.
What, like with the XP that I can't get because the hoods broke my legs?
Yeah.
What'd you spend your XP on?
Well, like at some point I'm level 0.
Mm-hmm.
Admittedly, I didn't respect their like how strong they were when I built my deck, and I could have done a little bit better in trying to play around them. But I think they are like as a unique weakness, they're absurdly strong.
Mm-hmm.
And her unique card is actually I tried to play it one time and then I read it and I was like, hang on, like this is actually terrible.
Yeah. It doesn't balance.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, the hoods are definitely a little bit strong for like what Rita has going for her.
Yeah, and it would be less of a thing like if every other signature weakness also felt that bad, but some of them are like,
or if like she was like I don't think the issue is strictly the hood's power level. It's just like it doesn't match up with how Rita's like to fight the Black Wind and Carolyn. Right?
Yeah, it's just not quite an even an equivalent trade.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Her stat line is very good. Her card pool is like actually pretty okay.
It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun card pool.
Like little weird, but that's never stopped me before.
Yeah.
She just like kind of fun.
Yeah, she's probably in my top 10 now.
Yeah.
She's very fun to play, and
dirty fighting is a hell of a drug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can actually like get the hoods with that one.
Yeah.
On a reasonably equivalent exchange. You like only get hit one time.
Yeah, it's not bad.
This isn't the video to probably bring this up, but you know what I realized? That, and I thought the commenter was crazy when they said this, but did you know parlay is actually pronounced parley?
No, it's not.
It actually
No,
is.
it isn't, because like I've seen Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
So
But
That's parlay.
yeah,
I know, and we're probably gonna keep calling it parlay because that's the right way. But I just have to acknowledge that my world was shook
it's kind of weird.
when I learned that.
No, it's a regional dialect.
Yes, there we go. All right,
That's how we pronounce it here in Canada.
Yeah. Because we're all pirates. What's that pirate? The song of the Saskatchewan pirate or whatever it is. That's the one, right? All right. My number 4 is Daniela Reyes. I think that she made this list and like over all the others when I was like shrinking it down, just because she's a survivor. She's blue on the cover, but she's a survivor otherwise. But the gameplay loop of fighting by getting your ass kicked is really fun. I like that. I like when just like an enemy shows up. Like this happened when Travis and I were playing. I was Daniela. I forget who you were playing. Maybe Min. But an enemy engaged on you, and you were like, "Help me!" And I just used my wrench. The dude punched me, and then I evaded him. Like it's just like fun to have like. and then like you're playing it close to the edge, which I also really enjoy. It's like how close you can get to dying without actually dying, and then play all your other fun soak cards that like further enhance Daniela.
Okay, but Calvin is not fun.
No, I actually do enjoy Calvin
Okay,
now. I actually
okay.
do enjoy Calvin, and it's mostly because I think Calvin was. Has a really good boon with the tested 0 because it works really well when he's at the start of the scenario, and
Yeah.
then when he scales into the later half, he can just like kill it.
I think Calvin is less fun than Daniela because his ability just like makes him function as an investigator, whereas hers like lets her get up
Yeah.
over the
No,
game.
I'm just like trying to, like Justin's like this is cool, but he's
Yeah.
also like I fucking hate this one.
Yeah.
But
No,
they're the
no.
same. Like they're the same guy.
No, they're
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, no, I play if it was like 6 months ago before I played Kelvin again, I probably would just be like,
Yeah.
no, he's poopy. But I really enjoyed the deck that I built with him. But it's her stat line's also bonkers.
It is kind of
like,
silly.
No,
you know.
she is definitely built like the min-maxed barbarian that
Yes.
your dungeon master hates, where you're like, no, you can't just put all your 8s in your charisma and your intelligence and your wisdom. And,
Yeah.
But like, yeah, she can.
I think even though I enjoy the hell out of her, the thing that I think that is there's been a lot of weird card pool decisions lately, like upgraded guard dog, upgraded dodge, clean sneak is another example of ones that just like feel like they don't have a home, and like I think like Daniela would like they could have just made them survivor cards when they upgraded, right? Because obviously they kind of work with this investigator and not like. They're fine with everyone else, but just like you look at it, it's like, why isn't this in this person's pool? But yeah, I've been loving it. I love Danielle every time I play her, and I just love getting my ass kicked. It's really fun.
I do really like the stat line with like as a flavor thing for how she functions. Like she seems to be incredibly stupid, but like very willful.
Yeah.
Where like she can only go fight a guy with her like knife or whatever, and so it's like, but he's got a gun. She's like, yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Daniela,
Yep.
I don't think you can win too many more fights.
No, that's still pretty sharp. It's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen what it looks like when you're winning.
All right, Travis, what's your number 4?
I don't remember. Oh, that's Rex. Yeah, I still like Rex. He gets the clues good. He plays yellow cards good. Still like very fun to play even with the proper errata to him.
Yeah.
If anything, honestly, it makes him like more fun to play in my opinion because I don't feel pressured to just investigate 3 times a turn so much. And it's like I can investigate once and get 2 actions worth of clues and then like do other things and not feel so bad about it. It opens up a lot more build options for him. But you can still just get like a disgusting amount of clues.
Yeah.
Mariner's Compass Rex, let's go.
Yeah. No, they've printed a lot of like really solid level 0 cards for him, like Mariner's Compass. Read the Signs is pretty silly with him.
You show up and they're like, it's haunted, and he's like, no, it's not. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ghosts aren't real.
Yeah, he plays the clue drop archetype really, really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that'd be fun to see you play that deck. Because I was gonna say that seems like a really fun thing to do with Rex. Yeah.
No, yeah, then he's still Rex.
Yeah, still Rex. Still great.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, Bryn, your number 3 is.
Oh yeah, it's this old guy.
Yeah.
Like he fucking sucks. But it's definitely a case of one of those like, it's so ugly, I love it.
Yeah.
It's terrible, and I'm gonna play it again.
Yeah, you are.
The only thing I don't like about this is that he can't play green cards, because apparently you can't just do illegal things as a butler or whatever.
No.
Yeah, no, he's just like pretty good and like kind of fun. Approach the game from like a slightly different angle. It's a lot more fun than I thought it would be. When he was spoiled, where I was just like, oh, so we're just gonna like take a move action and then do nothing, go. There's a little bit more going on than that.
Yeah, I mean, there was like such an accomplishment the time you convinced. Well, you're not convinced. We actually agreed pretty quickly. But
Yeah.
you used a dynamite blast on a location that Travis and I have already been at 2 separate times.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I was just like that. That's a lot of power
That was a lot of fun. That one scenario, like I successfully dynamite blasted every person on the team, and by successfully I mean like 4 advantage, without killing any of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
No,
No.
that's kind of doesn't happen too often.
Yeah, because you did the whole like the skill slinging. Do you have any like other things that this old man is whispering in your ear at night as you're sleeping?
Oh, I mean, like we definitely might play one where all we do is sink points into an axe,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Just start cutting people up.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you
sounds
can't
fun.
do anything with your 2, and I'm like, watch me, and then I draw auto fails forever, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, you're right.
That's nice. Like you can give your actions away when there aren't enemies to kill
Yeah.
and stuff. So.
Yeah, right. You can help gain clues in a weird roundabout way.
Yeah.
Still play red cards because red has the most skills, which is something that I've definitely not learned from a hidden run that we're
Yeah.
trying at a point in the future.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, my number 3. Who is it? I forget. Oh yeah, Joe Diamond. He was here last year, and he's here this year, and he's actually slowly crawling his way up to the top. Dude's just really fun to play. His stat line is so active, so like you're always doing something on your turn. And then in the Mythos phase, you're just hoping that someone else draws the Rotting Remains or the Grasping Hands, but you're going to be okay. There's enough cards now that you're going to be okay.
This is the guy I've died the fastest on.
Yeah.
Like when we played the epic multiplayer, our first round, we hit like the Hellfire, and you're like, oh. And we hit the Brain one too, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah, 'cause you grabbed the Brain one, and then our Preston player grabbed the Hellfire
yeah.
one, and I didn't
oh,
take
no.
I didn't take any damage through them. I just got lucky, but that's what you kind of just have to hope for. But his hunch deck is really fun, I also think there's a lot better options for it now than there was when he just came out. When you guys both played him, then I tried him. We were just like, this sucks.
It's like the same, you had to pick like 10 of like 14 cards. You're
Yeah.
Like, cool.
Yeah, so there's more things, and it just becomes like more exciting to see what can be done with it. And he has like probably the best pose of all investigators on his card. Like he's like, who is he
Definitely in
shooting?
contention.
Yeah, like he's up there.
Yeah, it's very dynamic.
Yeah, we should do that. Best,
Best investigator poses.
Yeah.
Best investigator art.
yeah. Yeah, I love Joe Diamond. Keep going, buddy. You'll be number 1 year.
It's been a long time since we did an art video.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. All right, Travis. Who's your number 3?
It's Parallel Rolling Banks. Yeah. So we were like looking at when investigator. I was trying to decide which investigators put on the list, and I was like, "There's some that like I still like, but I haven't played in like a year." And then Justin was like, "You played Roland like 3 times." And yeah, like Parallel, he's a pretty neat guy.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like super good or anything, but there's lots of neat things you can do with him you can't really do with other people.
Definitely.
I think that the parallel backside is generally a trap. The card pool is generally worse than the blue 5 yellow 2. But the front side with the directives is very fun to play and engaging. I had a lot of fun playing like fast fight events with him at the massive multiplayer thing. The other deck that I played for our first Scarlet Keys run was like not as bad as it looked, I think.
I think it was just a bad deck for a blind run.
Yeah.
Of Scarlet Key specifically because of how concealed works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least I think it performed a lot worse than it like actually was, but it is still a fun time. So
Yeah. I want to play Parallel Roland like with you two one day, because my problem with Parallel Roland is if I'm playing two-handed, I'll fuck it up all the time. If I'm playing it with Eric and like trying to like make sure the rules are being followed, I'll fuck up my own
Bryn
rules.
next year and be like, you can't do that.
Well, no, because I'm able to actually like when we play, I'm actually able to like play Arkham. I don't need to like do like maintenance or like controlling a camera while we're going it, so I have so much more headspace that I can focus. Because otherwise, Parallel Roland and I'll fuck it up all the time. I'll get fired from my job as an FBI agent. They'll be like out the door with you.
Yeah, this guy's very similar to like the Netrunner runner that I played the most of. So like maybe I should try playing with him.
Yeah,
a
you
little
should.
bit. They're also not going to put out new directives.
Just make your own.
Probably not.
Not that Android Netrunner put out.
They did like
new
once.
Well, yeah, they did one time. They put out a new rule,
Yeah,
and it was not very good.
it wasn't.
Sweet. All right, Bryn, you're number 2.
We got Safina Rousseau. She's bad. But I like playing with her.
Has Bryn said about every one of his investigators except Zoe so far?
Yeah. Can you wait till we get to the other one? And
He didn't say
I'm
Reader's
like,
bad. So she wasn't very good.
Yeah, that's true. There's a difference there. Yeah.
yeah, we're putting stuff into the list of people I don't like. Like, it's Mandy. She's too good.
I mean, that is what's gonna happen. Like
I think that happened last year.
it was. Yeah, you had Tony,
it probably-
Stella, Mandy.
Probably is gonna end up looking like that a little bit.
Yeah.
She's just kind of got like a unique game that she plays, and it's kind of neat. And the rules say that you can't put the painted world into a crystallizer of dreams, which is what it's called. It's not called the space jellyfish egg.
Really?
The rules
I've been
say
doing
the
that.
rules say that you can't. But
I've been doing that.
like given that it's a stupid ruling, I have given the current absence of the Arkham police, chosen to ignore it.
Yeah.
I did
And
catch
I'm just gonna do whatever I want to, whatever I think is right now.
Yeah, no, that's what I do.
That's what I'm gonna do.
I did catch them not allowed to play Ace in the Hole several times.
Yes, yeah, because it's exceptional,
Yeah, it's like,
which is like not unfair.
Yeah, no. I was disappointed.
yeah.
But, like I understood.
Yeah, like they say that the ability's forced, but nowhere in the text or like erratas that don't exist does it say that removing the card is forced, and it is not worded the way that other cards that remove themselves are. So it makes sense that you'd be able to put it into the jellyfish egg. So I'm gonna start doing that now. Next time I ever get to play Safina Rousseau, which I mean might be soon. Who knows?
Yeah. It does seem really strange that this. I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird.
Yeah, like that one. It actually doesn't really feel. That ruling doesn't really feel like there's any substance behind it, other than we said so.
Yeah, it is. It is very much like they're like it's forced. Like no, it isn't. It just says instead of putting it in the discard, do this. Which means that if I have other abilities that say instead of putting it in the discard, do this, and that are not forced, I should be able to choose.
Yeah.
Per the rules that they wrote themselves.
It really just seems like a
And
strange
it's
choice.
not even that strong.
No, it wouldn't. Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
It's like
with Safina, it
just
wouldn't make
pretty
her
okay.
that crazy
Yeah,
powerful.
that's-
Like it's just like pretty okay.
Yeah, because like, what's the best case scenario? Like, does it after the crystallizer? Does it also get removed from?
Like you could put it into your discard pile after you commit it.
And then the best
So you
case
could, like,
scenario
shuffle
is you
them
shuffle
back,
your deck
but-
and get to play it
Yeah,
again.
that's probably not gonna actually happen unless you build a deck around making that happen.
And then like when Seekers also like can like do
Yeah.
all these things.
yeah, no,
it's even easier. You know.
Yeah, like
Not to take shots at Seekers.
You can't compare the Seekers to other classes. It's not fair to their classes.
Survivors are trying. They're trying to.
Yeah, no,
Get
I
there.
think Survivor's second best class these days.
Yeah. Scavenging is just really
yeah.
good.
Yeah,
No,
the
survivors
card-
definitely
taking
are
up
the
by a shed.
kid holding up the
Scavenging.
sign.
Yeah.
Like if those kids in there could read, they'd be real mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Bobby is Survivor, Seeker is the principal, and it's just Guardian, Rogue, and Mystics inside. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's strange. It just because it feels like it wouldn't do anything except like
Yeah, like it does technically
Make it-
allow you to recycle them if you put away, but you already have like a huge deck.
yeah.
And you're only going to be recycling stuff if you build a deck around recycling it, and then in like green and purple, you don't really have incredible card draw.
And
Yeah,
like,
I mean, like, how many times can you cycle through your painted worlds through your deck before Star of Hyades eats like?
Before there's
Yes.
nothing left to play.
And, like,
it's
you're like,
yeah,
and then like not doubling exceptional events already has like a limit on it, right?
exactly.
Yeah.
You cannot play like the absurd ones with it anyway.
Yeah.
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 Nice.
I don't know. Anyway, that's my opinion. And,
No, I think that's fair. I agree.
We're starting the rules revolution now.
You know, it's
I'm not doing what the government says anymore.
I ain't paying my Arkham taxes.
Yeah, they'll have to find me first.
All right, what's my number 2? Oh yeah, I know who it is. It's Trish. Last year I was really high on big money. I'm down on big money this year. It's still fun, but I'm less high on it than I was last year.
Is it just because the stocks are down and the big
Yes.
money's worth less now?
Yeah, exactly. But Trish is like the holdover that survived it because she's very fun in big money, but she's also just like an incredible investigator with a really fun gameplay loop of being how can I take advantage of enemies that show up in a way that, you know, is I gotta be Rex Murphy, right? Which once again goes to the point we always talk about where every investigator tries to be Rex Murphy, and that's why Rex Murphy is the best. But Trish is like probably one of the most fun, apart from like Norman Astronomical Atlas loop, where like to achieve that, But also just like the ability to evade enemies off it as well is a very powerful effect. And you just always are feeling like you're doing something. And I love her stat line too. Because like she plays the rogue part of her class very well with this stat line. And she also has like a great seeker pool, right? 0 to 2 seeker is very good. I know like there's a lot of talk online about the rogue 502 seeker. But I think this one's better. Like, I just think, like, Rogue 5, Seeker 2 is such a good card pool. She's also, like, for this list also was the investigators that I ended up just, like, building the most decks for. And she's the one that I ended up just, like I was like, I could bring her through this campaign. I know I just played her.
She's
I
got
know,
very generic ability, yeah.
Yeah, and I know Travis just played her, but
I had a really good time playing her for, like, the first, like, 3-ish scenarios.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, like, the last couple, I didn't, but that was more of Scarlet Key's fault than Trish's fault.
Yeah. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's very fun, and I like her gameplay loop a lot.
Yeah, you'd think that Trish would interact favorably with concealed enemies, because like that's what she does for her job.
I mean, she does as long as there's clues.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if you, like, if you investigate, or if you get the clue with her ability, it counts as, like, a different effect, so you get to expose a second enemy.
But there has to be an enemy there.
And a clue.
Yeah.
I hope the next campaign is just like, it's just Dunwich 2, so simple. It's just like no like strange mechanics.
So
just,
simple, no XP.
Yeah. Suck it all out.
Enemies that are like, did you bring guns?
Giving XP for failing forward
Wouldn't that
again?
be a dream? Just like low XP, nice simple gameplay, punish you for having like low fist or like low, just like you have to have good stats.
Yeah.
You can't just hyper specialize in something. And then also we get like a taboo update, like just banning all the XP acceleration shit. Arcane research down the rabbit hole. Charon's Obel in the thick of it, just gone.
We get to keep Delve Too Deep or whatever though.
No, I mean maybe.
Because
fair.
like that one's fun.
Definitely. The green one.
Sharon's Obel?
No, the other.
Oh,
one.
the like also the
like on some.
Oh yeah, no, that one can. That one has to go. That one has to go. But we
that'd be so funny if they like
equivalent
delve too deep.
Equivalent exchange, we get double or nothing back.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
No, I did play her in our like return to Innsmouth, and I brought a pile of cards that I was like, I'm gonna grief Travis with these, and then like the joke was actually on me because I would just play them and be like, yeah, all those clues are mine anyway. Let's go to the next place.
Yeah,
like with like followed and like eavesdrop, and you're like, oh wait a minute, I just like
these are just good.
yeah, it's just switched up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Travis, you're number 2.
Yeah. Oz Norman Withers. This guy's a lot of fun to play. I like how you can build around his unique asset because his tolement's easy to find. He's got a fun card pool for building around it. His ability, his future sight ability, is just really fun to play with.
Yeah.
And well, without feeling like overwhelming to the game or broken. Like it's not like playing Rex or Mandy where you feel like you're cheating. And like they also force you into playing certain kinds of effects. For Norman, you can just like play things. Yeah. There's a huge temptation to play Astronomical Atlas, but like you definitely don't have to. Yeah. He's a very fine investigator, like a very good investigator, even if you elect not to play that.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, no, it's just he's a lot of fun to play. I think he's got a lot of really neat decks. He's got a good stat line for doing a variety of things, and it's a good design.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He can beat Frozen in Fear.
Yeah, you can also
he can fight a rat.
Yeah.
He can book V Shroud.
Did I ever show?
Sounds like a list of things you've done.
Did I ever show you the clip that someone pointed out to me recently that I completely forgot about when you were Norman and you fought the rat and you drew 6 bless tokens? It was like 5 or 6, and it just wouldn't stop.
It just kept going. It was like, can he just die though?
Just Pico's cloud, that rat will die.
Yeah. I agree with the thing that like Norman obviously has the astronomical atlas loop, which is very good, but his stat line is just really nice that you could just play fair with like an extra card in your hand that costs one less each turn.
Even if you're not looping deduction, you can just play Astronomical Atlas as like a card draw engine. It's still fun and fair.
And we did the expanded guide for him last week, and just the amount of things that we were like, hey, this is actually pretty fun to play with his signature, right? And just like being able to make it reduced cost when you want to is really cool. Yeah. All right, on to our number ones. Bryn.
It's Will Yorick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could just like probably rocket through our number ones.
He actually, like he
Watch
just,
the previous 2 videos.
yeah, he doesn't die. He's got a sick signature. His weakness is actually just like a
Good thing.
extra card.
Yeah, he can survive the attack twice,
I still
Matron.
think that's silly, but you know.
Yeah.
You can pass frozen if that's pretty good for guys you usually play.
Yeah.
Yeah, you put a Pete into play, and suddenly all your numbers are 4s, except the one that doesn't matter, because somebody else will take care of that. It's not your problem. And even if you have to, you're not discovering clues by investigating.
Yeah.
But
You're gonna use like a
now.
bird or a shovel or whatever.
Or a flashlight.
Nah, probably not.
You could though.
You could.
Yeah, like I mean, it's mathematically possible.
I think I'd say it's actually quite easy, probably.
I also love that Will York can like
I think difficulty 0
unironically
or something.
use knife. You know, I think that's just like really nice.
Somebody like I don't know, it was maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago was like posting a cycle of upgraded knives they had, and the blue one they had at level 2 was nuts.
Yeah.
And somebody was just like, "Hey, so this is broken in Will York," and he was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
So the next iteration, they were all level 3, so that he couldn't play the blue one, and they were Myriad instead.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like we talk about scavenging a lot, but like I like recursion for a character ability because it feels, you know, flavorful for Will Yorick, right? Because even then, like when you do the crazy things, which is like, I think like most of the time he's just recurring like weapon, asset, chainsaw for the higher experienced ones. You know?
Like you're perpetuating what you're already doing.
Yeah.
And also it's like a reactive recursion thing where scavenging is proactive. Or, you know, you can only get things back from your discard pile when there's an enemy and you kill them, where scavenging you just go and investigate, which is something that you do by default and not waiting for the game to do something to trigger it.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Who's my number one?
Also, scavenging, like, you just get back to your hand, which is, like, kind of better than getting the opportunity to play it out of your discard pile by paying for it.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
It's Silas.
Wow.
It's always Silas.
It's always Silas. They made the man for me. It's,
When are you going to do a Silas cosplay?
never. You don't want to see me without a shirt on.
Can we do a run where we dress up as the characters we're playing?
That actually would be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Yeah, that would actually be fun. But yeah, no, he's not changed since last year. He got a fun thing to do with Ghastly Possession. It's frustrating. To like the biggest problem with Silas is that some skills you can gain with his ability and some can't. I wish just that none of them could, right? Because now like each skill just like obviously you still get good use out of Silas because you can pull back your skills as an emergency, and that's what Silas should be, right?
I mean, that kind of comes back to like the most frustrating thing in the game right now is the rules.
Yeah.
No, I mean that is like a part of like the police don't exist anymore, which means that the only rules are the rules a man can take with his own 2 hands.
And it'd be like, Silas doesn't get any of the things.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we make all the rules now, because like everybody gets to make their own.
No,
rules
because then
now.
they're gonna come and cut off our heads.
What are they gonna do? Defund us?
No, it's gonna be like the French Revolution. They're gonna put us in the guillotine.
We could do that. We could like do a video and like these are the rules that we're playing with now.
Yeah, we actually honestly, like, we could.
Yeah,
it is one of my biggest pet peeves of as content creators, like having to keep up, right? To
Corrosion
like be
could
aware.
just do what it says. Justin.
Corrosion could just have the English language on it. I agree. Yeah.
Oh man.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Actually, also what people have asked for too is
Become what we hate. Just like, hey, so we're playing this with house rules.
yeah. Another thing that people have asked for is they were like, you should make a PBG taboo list, which I think could also be fun. Look at a few cards and just be like, hey, you know, we each get one. He just makes like some cards forbidden just to spite us.
Like, I don't think scavengers should be banned, but Justin or Bryn will be like, I think deduction should be banned.
No, I wouldn't do that. Deduction's too good.
Yeah.
But like also pretty fair. However, I would definitely chain like that Prophesy Profana, so that it costs like probably 15, because that seems about fair.
That'd actually probably be really funny if we'd made a taboo list, because there's like just like normal ones, and it's just like, oh, that must be a Bryn one.
I mean, we do have like an effective ban list here.
We do, yeah.
Like, we don't play with Prophesy Profana, we don't play with Cyclopean Hammer, we don't play with Keepies.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the Cyclopean Hammer's not even that good, so.
Yeah, I mean, you also think Amanda's not very good.
She has all twos in the stats. I'm starting to see what
good?
Bryn's saying. All right,
Yeah,
Travis.
like, she doesn't let other people take extra actions at all.
Yeah.
She
Thinking
could.
that this is Carson. It's all just Carson.
She's just Carson Babette.
All right, Travis,
Sorta.
you're number
In some
one.
aspects, I can see that. Oh, it's Luke, yeah.
It's Luke.
Yeah, I actually, like, when we were doing that, I was like, yeah, I'll put Luke on the list, and then I guess Vince can go number 5, and I thought about it for a bit, and I was like, is Luke already on the list? I still like Luke. When I, like, think of neat deck ideas, he is quite often one of the people that gets them.
Yeah.
Being able to play, like, he's got such a fun card pool. You get I really like the purple, high purple, low yellow, as you can tell, because, you know, Norman Withers has a very similar card pool. He's got a fun stat line where you don't dominate at anything, but you can, I mean, you don't really use your stats as Luke a lot of the time. But they're high enough that you can make use of them.
Yeah.
Being able to play the events at adjacent locations makes for really interesting gameplay situations. He's just a really fun and well-designed investigator. I also like how he's a very good, like, litmus test for custom scenarios.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does Luke break this?
Yeah, that's what both Beard and Axolotl told me. Just that, like, they expect at least in one scenario in the campaign for someone to be like, yeah, Luke breaks this.
I like that.
Yeah, it's just normal. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see like, you know, a Travis deck where he's versatile to Dynamite Blast, and he's like, I'm a genius, and then he's like, I take 3 damage on this. Like, oh no!
I could use it.
As if I was there.
Yeah.
I could play Diamond Blast from 2 locations away.
Yeah, I mean, I do love those with like Eric, who they said they wanted to play Luke. And like I love that like Luke has a flat line where it's like he's just good, you know? But then you get to the advanced stuff where it's like if you shortcut at an adjacent location, you actually move 2 locations, you know?
Yeah,
like the next or like the thing where it's just like the enemy hunts towards you and you're just like peace, you know? Like there's that like I love that Luke has like layers to his
You
complexity.
can use the like explosive ward to hit enemies at any location with
Yeah,
your ability,
that's so
because it's
good.
as if you're there and engaged with the enemies there.
Yeah, like there's a lot of like I think there's just like the nice thing about Luke is that he's strong, but not because of his stat line, which is a nice change of pace as opposed to like some investigators who are like good because of their stat line or good because their stat line and their ability.
Yeah, like you learn something new about what you can do with him, like every time
Yeah.
you build a deck or play him.
Yeah.
And it's like in a fun way, not like Silas where you're like you realize, oh yeah, some of the cards work this way and some of them don't. It's just you just realize that like the rules actually just kind of make sense for it. Even though there was a big debacle when it came out about how as if works, they actually cleared it up pretty good.
Yeah.
I will give them props for that.
Yeah. And I mean like also, I mean I never really saw the as if
Being an issue. Though.
yeah, because it's just like
It just kind of made sense.
yeah, but I think that as if now is nice. It's nice.
Yeah, good job on that one, guys.
Yeah. Okay, we did it. And that means next week we get our bottom 5 investigators. Be funny if you just did like
Yes,
one of our top 5s.
I'll rotate our lists.
Just
talk about why
give
we
me,
think
give me
they're bad
Justin's
instead.
in reverse order.
Yeah. You know, at least House got only top 5 of the bottom. That's a win. That's a win. If you're watching home, what are your favorite investigators, and why is it one of our favorite investigators? Otherwise, we don't want to hear it. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good one. And as always, the GG's.